Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Celestia and Luna are god rulers who rule Equestria with an iron yet benevolent hoof. Praise be the sun. Between them are thousands of years of knowledge of how to run a kingdom, with various pockets of insanely powerful evil baddies who attempt to attack Equestria. In all honesty, there has never been a country who has been able to keep peace for as long as they have, despite how many evil villains still try to take them over. But how did all of this happen? I mean, did these alicorns one day just pop out of nowhere and walk in and declare themselves leaders? Or does MLP work on the same model as Invader Zim, ranking individuals based upon height? Would explain why every alicorn seems to be so tall. But what really you start thinking about Luna and Celestia, and alicorns in general, was a line that they said in the Crystalline, where they declare Equestria has never seen the birth of an alicorn. Some people took this in a way that stated that since Equestria was founded, there has never been a naturally born alicorn. However, that would be horribly specific for them to say, and it seems a bit contrived for the situation. And this raises a lot of questions about the legitimacy of Princess Luna and Celestia, or at least, were they naturally born alicorns? And if they were, then doesn't that mean they would have had to have come before Equestria? But again, why wouldn't they state as such? It seems really weird to say that since the founding of Equestria there hasn't been one, but not mention that they were born naturally as well. Alicorns are guardians. They're meant to keep peace and rule over specific aspects of the kingdom. We see that Luna and Celestia themselves have created 2 alicorns, being Twilight and Cadence. They were deemed worthy to carry the burden of protecting these ponies. And even though they are fabricated, not naturally born as alicorns, they don't seem inherently weaker than Celestia, or even Flurryheart. While Flurryheart has a lot of magical outbursts, Twilight Sparkle, even before becoming an alicorn, had immense magical properties. And lifting the sun and the moon seems to be able to be done by not just alicorns of all kinds, but even normal unicorns, as that was the original way that the sun and moon were lowered. It took the magic of 6 unicorns. But we're getting away from the point. Really, all that is showing us is that there is, at current, not a real difference between artificial and natural alicorns. But that doesn't explain how Luna and Celestia became alicorns and if they weren't naturally born. To help us answer that, I think we should go ahead and take a visit to the Heartswarming Eve episode. During the founding of Equestria, where the 3 tribes came together to save their world from the Wendigos, did you notice their united flag? It's 2 alicorns, circling the moon and the sun. But from what we know, Luna and Celestia do not exist at this point, and yet their concepts of an alicorn is still known wide enough to put it on a flag. Of course, this could simply be an artist's rendition of the partnership of all tribes working together in harmony. But why the sun and moon motif? Maybe there's more to this. While researching this theory, I actually had a bombshell hit me in the form of a book. The Journal of the 2 Sisters, one of the few books deemed canon. And within the book are some pretty interesting things. They talk about villages of alicorns and how they were taught by them, how they were taught the Royal Canterlot voice, and how they were taught how to fly and how they would play with each other. Meaning that there are far more than just Celestia and Luna. There was at one point an entire tribe of alicorns. And they talk about how they would fly over Royal Canterlot. Not just Canterlot, but Royal. Not just some budding city on the hillside, but one with a high standing already. Kind of countering the whole Equestria has never witnessed the birth of an alicorn thing. So what's going on? Well, the Journal of the 2 Sisters just kind of ends. There's no mention of what happened to the other alicorns. They just kind of poof out of existence. So far though, what can we tell from the knowledge that we do have, from the limited amount of information that we're given from the show and the book? Right now, according to Celestia, Equestria has never seen the birth of an alicorn. There's no difference between natural and born alicorns, that we can tell at least. and that now there are only 2 alicorns who can date back so far. So what does this all mean? Well, here's my theory. Celestia and Luna are one of many alicorns. These alicorns for some reason were absent during the freeze. Perhaps this was simply due to the fact that they didn't exist yet, or maybe they didn't feel that they needed to interfere. Alicorns are not like normal ponies for both obvious reasons and because they're less like ponies and more like tools. Something that's brought up often is the Tree of Harmony, the center of harmony and the most powerful source in Equestria. It often has a plan of how to deal with problems, and sometimes this is to create a physical object that holds power, like when the main 6 got the rainbow power, or even the elements of harmony themselves. I believe the tree created the alicorns for when they needed them, to guide Celestia and Luna, to teach them how to use the basics of their magic. Then, they led them to Star Swirl, to teach them the advanced stuff, to mentor them on a personal level, to be some sort of father figure in their life, to set the goals that they should achieve, as there is no mention of their parents in any of their notes. When the rest of the alicorns were no longer needed, they were simply phased out. Celestia said there was no such thing as a naturally born alicorn. Obviously, if Cantrelot is royal, this was taking place during the period where Equestria was already founded, which means that Equestria could not see the birth of an alicorn, which means that the Tree of Harmony was making them. There are plenty of theories out there saying that Celestia started off as an earth pony. Now, there's really little evidence of a canon nature to support that, but it does fall in line with the whole Equestria hasn't seen the natural birth. When Luna and Celestia were ready to go off on their own, the Tree of Harmony no longer needed to make any more alicorns. There had to have been a reason why these 2 were chosen out of everyone to be rulers. Maybe they were simply the most powerful. They weren't the oldest. They definitely weren't the wisest. So why them? The tree must have specifically made these 2 special. How so? We're not exactly sure, but we do know that their destiny was to be tied to the sun and the moon themselves. And yes, Celestia and Luna do have the ability to make other alicorns, but it's very rarely done, and always with a purpose. Each alicorn has a specific element and harmony to guard and protect. But perhaps the tree decided that it needed a new plan, that it sensed an evil that was coming, or danger, and they decided to create one more alicorn, in the form of Flurry Heart. Celestia and Luna are tools, being used by the Tree of Harmony in a 3-dimensional game of chess between good and evil. Celestia and Luna were born to be used by the tree. They were chosen from birth to become the rulers of Equestria. The tree had a plan, and they were their pawns. Perhaps not the happiest thing to know that every action in your life was dictated by someone else, that your free will was non-existent, and that essentially you are a puppet. One cannot deny that the good that they've done. They've saved thousands, probably millions, and shouldered the burden of protecting an entire world. They sacrificed their free will in order to protect us. And that's what alicorns are. At the end of the day, you can sugarcoat it, but they are tools, sacrificial offerings, to be used to protect those who can't protect themselves, to keep evil at bay and keep the constant power between good and evil at a neutral state. Whenever it feels that there's an imbalance, it creates another alicorn, and when it feels that good is winning too much, they take away one. One thing's for sure, the Tree of Harmony isn't just a normal tree, and it's pretty intelligent, and I'm interested to see what move it makes next. As always guys, I've been Faith Moliminous. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to let me know what you think, and if you enjoy these theory videos, consider supporting us on Patreon. Be sure to let me know what you also thought of the video, and your theories. Of course, this one is a little bit more headcanon. I find these types of theories more fun. Well, anyways guys, I'll see you in the next one.